my late arrivals, this taste of. Oh, welcome everybody to the licensing committee meeting. Community Board 1 for March. I'm Susan Cole, Chair. Francis Curtis is the co-chair, and Onesh James is our right hand.
One who keeps us together.
Yes, she keeps me honest.
The documentarian.
There you are. We're going to do the Taste of Tribeca first. We asked them to come and give us a update.
Oh, yeah.
So come, you can stand and talk to them.
Come sit with us.
We're gonna.
So we don't bite.
Well, my colleague is also online
Yes.
as well, so he will be, Phil is one of our board members. So he'll be sharing if it's possible.
Yeah, there he is.
Yep, I'm here.
Hi, Phil. Welcome
Hi.
back.
Thanks for having us. Karen, do you want to kick us off, or do you want me to give an overview? Where would you like to start?
I can pick up. So, we are planning our 32nd annual Taste of Tribeca. For those who don't know of us yet, we're a community and school parent entirely sponsored event. It's a collaboration between two public schools that used to be located in Tribeca. Our school, PS 150, has recently moved downtown closer to the financial district, but in the heart of community, we really want to keep this collaboration alive. So we are heading into our 32nd year. The event remains the same. We span Duane Street and Greenwich, and it's family oriented and food oriented. So we really want to bring the culinary community with restaurants to our community, and the volunteers are all parents as well as local community members, performers, and sorts.
And the day it's going to be this year.
Saturday, May 16th. And it's always 11:30 to 3, or 11 o'clock to 3:30.
And do you close off certain streets?
We close off, yeah.
We approved their.
We approved them
We
already.
approved them already through the street application for SAPO. They came and talked to us. We resolved and discussed with Phil already. Phil can back me up on this.
Yeah.
The dialogue about the
The sound,
and
Music.
the
yeah.
setup.
the sound, the live entertainment, the music, and most importantly, to ensure that the vendors who drop off are not understaffed. So they don't have to be doing dropping of pallets at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to the same level. When they were fully staffed in a different way, it was not quite as impactful. Right?
Yes,
Does that summarize everything we talked about?
yes,
Yeah, that sounds about
exactly.
right. Yeah.
That's still on the
Yes.
plaza, right?
It's still, yeah, same place. It's not
Same
going
place,
anywhere.
yeah.
Same place.
And you don't have a long table or anything, you just have, or do you have a,
No, look, that's the
the other?
Wayne
one?
Park
Yeah.
fundraiser, yeah.
So this is your.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are working with the Parks Department as well, and it'll be smaller tables,
Right.
round bistro tables, inside the park.
So people can sit.
But everything is a booth style setup for restaurants to provide their sample to the public. And for
What-
this particular,
What is the ticket price gonna be this year?
it is 65 for early and 75 for on-site, which has remained the same for the past 4 years that I've been doing
Yeah,
it, Phil.
I think we were a little bit cheaper the first year I was on the team, but it went up a little bit after that. So yeah, 65 has been the same price. We've sold, we launched ticket sales just this past week. We've sold 85 so far, which is actually pretty good. This is earlier than normal, so that's encouraging that the community are excited and interested in taking part.
How many did you have last year?
We sold about 1,500 tickets. Now, one ticket doesn't necessarily mean one person. It usually means like 2 tickets for a family of 5. So I think you could probably gauge about 3,000 attendees. The event itself is free to attend. You can walk through the event, you can take part in the craft activities, and even some of the soft drinks are free. It's just if you wanted to have any of the food is what you pay for. So we do see probably 3,000 through the event during the time period.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's the same as they've done forever.
32 years, more
Yeah.
or less.
Pretty much.
So we can buy them online, on our website, which Phil can, share with you. We've just launched it, updated version, as well as the day of. Since last year, I think some of the rules from SAPO had us adjust to the on-site ticket sales where we need to pay for a percentage of the proceeds to the city. So,
Really?
at least that was what was.
I wonder where that's going.
Last year.
Yeah.
And so that
I wonder what, yeah, right.
So
Really?
if we buy it
Because of
online, the city
on-site-
doesn't get anything. Is it better to buy it online?
Well,
Is it money directly to you?
It doesn't
So I
make
think
much difference in the end, yeah, because once we paid for the permit to sell on the street, it's a flat rate, so it really doesn't make much difference in the end of the day.
But here's a,
they made what is it?
Concession?
A concession to us. It was 20,000, which would have taken
Yeah,
no,
pretty
that's
much all
not,
the
that's not.
donations. And so they lowered it to,
Amazing money.
Yeah.
come on then.
Really.
And especially for a non-profit, they shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I can see for a for-profit event, but for a school fundraiser and non-profit, that should,
I would like to write a letter. Don't you think we should write
I
a
think we
letter?
need to put it in a resolution, and then I write a letter.
That will, we'll put it in the
Yeah, that's for a
resolution.
nonprofit, they should not be charged.
Yeah,
And the
thank you for
resolution-
telling us.
I'm following the guidelines that
Well, if it's not.
they're telling me.
We should have an open resolution for all
Well,
nonprofits.
today we'll just do this.
I think because it came, we had not had to pay this, sort of concession or percentage to the city in the past.
Yeah, we
and-
had payments, we never had to pay. This is
This
fairly
is
new.
very new.
This is very.
We've not heard that.
And
Yeah,
it was
like what
because
Rocket, like I
you
said,
have
it's-
to
it's
sell
over.
tickets on site. If we're not selling the tickets on site, we do not have to pay. But it's really hard to have a fundraiser event and not capture families that walk by and.
No, you have to sell them.
Yeah, I mean,
We're just upset that
I'm,
the city's
I'm
taking
one of those
money.
people who buys food tickets on site, right? Because I'm coming out of BMCT that day from recitals. We run over to Taste of Tribeca, we
Right.
buy some tickets, we get some food, and then we run back for the next show.
Right.
But I don't want to be deducting money from the school because I'm buying on site.
Right.
So do you charge more money on site?
75 on site.
75, but it's a wash
And
probably,
65.
because the
if you go
$10 goes to
online.
the city.
Right.
Oh, no.
I know.
It's wrong. So can, we approve then and write a resolution that says we approve their, one-day event, for a temporary permit and liquor license.
But can we
Not
also-
liquor,
Well,
but you
this-
do have.
There is
this-
liquor.
Yes, yes.
The application
Liquor
for the
license.
one-day liquor.
And we support the event, however,
Not however, moreover, we think that the city
Moreover.
should not be penalizing nonprofits.
And this is the first time, this is the
this
32nd
has been
year.
going on for
Right.
32 years.
Right.
They are now being penalized by, they have to pay a fee supposedly of $20,000. This is.
No, you don't have to pay 20,000, right?
They came down because we found out about it.
They came
during
down to
the-
20,000?
The walkthrough, the week of last year, or the 2 days before the permit.
No, but then they come down to
They came to
20,000?
5.
They came down
from-
to 5. So
The
they
flat
only-
fee
they only
was
paid
20.
5.
What did you used to pay before they told you?
They never
Nothing.
paid anything.
Just the.
This is
the
crazy.
regular fees.
Oh, it's only 5,000 they're charging you?
From 20, they came to 5.
But only this year.
That
They
was
started
last
out this,
year.
last year they had, what, 20,000?
This was last year.
Did you pay the 20,000 last year?
We paid the 5 because we said we're nonprofit.
And so this
there's
year
no
they want
way
the
we-
5 again.
So I'm anticipating them to ask.
So you
for
don't
the
really
fine.
know, they haven't asked.
Yeah, so we're gonna say that we don't think that they should pay, then in the past nonprofits paid just the fees, the permit fees.
What
And
they're
then-
charging.
and-
It goes to education, it goes to schools.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not even-
basically
Yeah,
robbing
we have
Peter
a
to
lot
pay
of-
Paul.
A lot, we can't just say because it's schools, we have a lot of.
So-
Different types of
nonprofits,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, no, in this case, I'm
It's
saying.
going to the
the
schools, it is a nonprofit, it is distributing the money to schools and education, and we do not feel that any fee should be charged.
Well, they're
for
making
that.
up the city's shortfall.
Well, please, give me a break. We don't feel that to charge any amount of that. Okay,
Yeah.
so can I have a?
Call the question.
Second, okay, so let's, who of us are here, we all say yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean we'll have to pay the
That's how
fine,
it
but we're
works.
gonna
It doesn't-
protest
You're
it.
gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna protest that, because I think we'll send it to SLA and we'll send it to SABA.
They should give you a
Question, in terms of some level of monitoring the alcohol
Yes.
and how it gets dispersed into the community, do you get wristbands? Do
Yes.
people have?
So we have it's a tent area with, like fence barriers, low fence barriers. And the alcohol is only served within the tented area. And one of the reasons why we're able to maintain the ticket prices as it is right now, it's because the tables in the tent area are actually sold at a higher price with a wine flight offering, and full service sort of offering from volunteers. So we have volunteers from Stuyvesant, from Goldman Sachs, who actually do like a table service. So they don't have to leave the tent. And those tables are sold to companies who sponsor
They
us.
sponsor them.
So if you buy a $75 or $65 ticket.
That does not include
That does
any
not
sort of
include
alcohol,
alcohol.
correct?
Okay. And
So-
if you buy a ticket for alcohol,
You stay in.
you have
have to
to
be in
consume
the
it in
tent.
the
You
tent.
have to be in
They've
the
been there.
tent, and we
Know that.
have,
You can't walk
people who
around.
man the entrances, wristbands for anyone who
Okay.
is of
You got
drinking
it covered.
age, and beverages
I wasn't clear. on that.
cannot leave the tent.
Right.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
thank you very much for
Yeah.
coming. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wish weather this year.
Please. Oh, yeah.
All right. Phil, up you come.
Here we go.
The next bill.
Yeah,
Oh my God, Phil and.
you can sit, please be my guest.
Brought a bunch of packets, you guys with.
Oh, great.
So what is it doing?
Paper.
Big flats, flat street.
Flat.
15, no, not 15 gold.
Flat, flat.
5 gold.
I've seen.
So I'm just curious, this,
Thank you.
is this space kind of like almost the same as the space on Ann Street where the garage fell down? Broke up?
I'm not.
No, different parking garage.
No, I know it's a different parking garage. I'm just looking at the space. And because I walk by there
What's the
and I,
zip code on it? I'm trying to get a Google map.
there's, somebody's gonna build something.
Yeah.
10038.
Yeah,
They're building a building there.
yeah, but it's like.
If you're looking on Google Maps, 7 Platt Street is a good
Oh, okay.
number to enter.
7.
All right. Give me the second fill of the evening.
7.
So you want to introduce,
Yes, of course. Phil Dorn, attorney for the applicant. With me is Scott Garricky. Garricky or Garrick? Garricky. Garricky. Okay. From the ownership team. This is an application for a new hotel at 7 Platt Street between Pearl and Gold.
I see.
You may have noticed it. They've been under construction for months. They are looking to open in a few months, ideally April or May. I'll skip right to it. The hours of operation are 2 a.m. each night. Obviously, the hotel itself is open 24/7, as all hotels are, but the food and beverage stops at 2 a.m. There is an internal courtyard that will close at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
thank you.
We know better than to
Five
put
minutes.
the boundaries on that. That's just for hotel guests to have a coffee or a glass of wine.
What time does it open in the morning?
Breakfast time early.
What time?
7, 8?
We'll call it 7.
Let's call it 8.
Well, I mean,
No,
if,
it's a hotel.
Really?
yes,
It doesn't abut to the residential windows of the building next door.
there are, so it's like a shaftway courtyard
In the
and
middle of the.
3 of the 4 walls are hotel rooms, and 1 is a residential building. The residential building is
That's what I'm
owned,
saying.
the residential building is owned by the same people that own the hotel. They
Oh,
have-
so they'll get all the complaints.
They have,
No,
they,
is it
they have
rented?
an inherent interest in making sure that no one
Okay.
is.
All right, so you're gonna
disturbed.
say
So you
7
want to
to
start at
10
7?
and end
That would
at
be
10,
great.
close on 10.
So my only complaint, as you will know, having come here
Mhm.
1,000 times, Phil, is I still have trouble with Sunday because it is open to the public, whatever you may say. And I have trouble with 2 AM on Sunday.
No, but wait a minute, I'm sorry.
It's the
So,
second floor.
is it only room service?
No,
No, it's a restaurant
The
inside.
restaurant. So-
restaurant
So
inside.
what I'll say, which is what I said to Susan before, we had a little sidebar, but just so everyone hears it. This is not, food and beverage destination for locals who are coming to stumble into a bar. This is for hotel guests. It's an amenity for the hotel guests. So the reason for 2 AM is if someone flies in and their flight gets in at midnight, they get to the hotel and they want, dinner, they need a burger and a glass of wine, it's for them.
Do you have room service?
Yes, I'm
Yes,
saying,
we-
why can't it
we-
be room
I
service?
asked the same thing.
Well, room service is available, but if someone wants to sit at the restaurant and have a
But if it's
burger,
closed, they can't, so they'd either order from outside or order room service.
but they'd like the opportunity to stay
But we
open.
don't like a lot of.
My point is people are not going to be, when they finish dinner at 1 AM, if that ever happens, they're gonna go up to their hotel room, not out to the street.
Nice.
Can they smoke in the hotel?
No,
So they're gonna go outside to smoke and make noise if they've been drinking.
And especially because there's a
Yes.
lovely park right in front of the building.
Does the restaurant have any street frontage on any floor?
does it have street frontage?
Is it a ground floor restaurant with doors to the?
Yes, there's an F&B little area on the ground floor, yes.
The bottom line is
Do you
you gotta
diagrams
make
in
a
this?
compromise around something.
Let's take a look at the street.
If you're a hotel guest, but it is to the public
Might be about those.
and the public.
By Stout and Harris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, so,
Yes, I can.
Okay.
No, not Stone, no, right over,
Sorry, I tried to.
right across from the hardware
second
store,
floor, there's
the
all-
old Barry Pizza Place.
oh, the old Happy Pizza place.
Yeah.
Oh, so they take over the old hotel that was there?
No.
No,
it's-
brand
it's brand new.
Okay, so here's the thing. Remember, he's talking individual travelers. We're looking at it saying it's a 2-floor restaurant with, and is the second floor attached to the outdoor area that you're asking about?
No.
No,
Okay, but it's a 2-floor restaurant. You're gonna do buyouts, hopefully holiday parties.
I
work
didn't
this
get
out.
there yet.
Maybe, I appreciate, Bill, where you're going. No, that'll never happen. That
I understand
actually,
you need to put
That-
protections in place.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, that's the most profitable part of food and beverage is catering events.
And we have a young
This
man.
period.
Right. That's not where our profit is.
I understand.
We're a
but-
hotel that's offering an amenity to guests.
I understand that, and the amenity makes its revenue mostly from beverage, because the margins on food are small, labor is high, we hear all these things, we sit with Max Bookman in all these lovely city council things, so I'm listening to all the conversations, and I'm sorry to have it come back at you, but, these are the conversations that are being told to us for reasons that, for example, you will probably come back to us for sidewalk or road bid,
Oh, no.
for this particular restaurant.
No, never, they can't be.
Why?
Well, because of the.
Well, what's your compromise?
So, something we had discussed before everyone arrived was, if it appeases everybody, stipulating to on Sundays, closing the food and beverage to the public, well, not to the public, you can't do that legally, but closing it off to non-hotel guests
Yes.
at midnight, and from 12 to 2, it's just for hotel guests.
That's fine by me.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
That works. Doesn't address events, but yes. I
Yes,
like it.
great, we haven't gotten there.
So, there's absolutely no outdoor seating?
There is
There
a
is-
courtyard.
Yeah, there's the courtyard which closes at ten PM.
Closes at 10.
It's not directly contiguous with the
Yeah.
restaurant space,
Yeah.
but there's like some lounge couches to sit and have a
Yeah.
coffee or
And we're
a
gonna
glass
close
of
it
wine
at
for
10.
you.
Yeah, it's not contiguous at all to the restaurant, it's
No.
contiguous to the lobby only.
Yeah.
Right?
To the second floor, here, I think.
In any of us.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the lobby, right?
Everything that's.
All that.
Is not
And that's
included,
fine.
so it's just this space.
Right.
I understand, but you
And
take
then-
the stairs up in the lobby, you're
So
gonna
you
get,
get to here,
Here
you
to
go
go to, yeah.
here,
So Sunday is till midnight.
and then here, and it is this area.
and
is
the
outdoor
restaurant.
terrace.
Yep,
How many rooms in the?
What did it say? 172,
It's not huge. So
6 floors.
what I want you to think about is the hotel may rent out space, may do what we call buyouts. Around Christmas, somebody may come to you and say, we'd like to have a party
Wedding.
for, office staff of 60. And you cater it, blah, blah, blah. So thinking about that, how many do you think you would want to do a year?
Now, when you say buyouts, do you mean of,
The restaurant. The restaurant's closed to all of us and just.
right, I'm just trying to discern precisely what space we're talking about.
The
So-
whole,
So the restaurant,
whole
so
restaurant.
the first and second floor
You don't wanna
F&B
have-
areas.
You don't wanna sell it to, for a wedding or?
Yeah, so Scott is saying that's never going to happen,
No,
so,
don't
so
say
just for the, no,
Say
I'm not saying.
Why are you-
So,
why-
I'm just trying
Don't
to.
limit.
I'm just trying to give you guys some extra confidence that it's really not that type of place, but that being said, would you guys think maybe 12, you know, the standard
carry.
12 a year, just in
Which
case,
means, so you understand, that you could have 3 at Christmas.
right?
But
You don't have
can't
to
have
do one.
more than 12. You could have a wedding in July,
Right,
or 2 weddings in July,
right.
but no more than 12 per year.
We
You
would
could
be
have
happy
people come to
to.
New York to get married and wanna have the party in your hotel. You just
And
have
rent out the rooms,
Yeah, so 12 is agreeable to us,
okay?
agreeable to you.
12 it is.
You might not ever use it, but you don't know, so what might ask you. Like, we may say, we wanna buy it out for our.
For a CB1.
Wedding, wedding,
just keep in mind, at that point, that Sunday night, that's a 2 AM buyout, because they will technically be hotel guests at that
No,
event.
let's hear.
they may be.
That's
Oh,
okay,
I thought you were saying if you guys.
that's okay.
No, it's not.
No, we won't be at that.
But a buyout means somebody from the outside buying.
If they're, right, if they're buying out just the restaurant, then no, if they're also staying at the hotel, then
That's
the
a whole
hotel
other-
guests can stay.
Right, but they could be open until. Two.
But we don't have to.
Only if nobody from the
First of all,
outside.
if anyone was doing a buyout, it wouldn't be a Sunday night, it would be a Saturday night, so that's probably. a good-
Except if you're Orthodox Jew.
Or if there's a holiday, Monday
They're
or
working
holiday.
there.
On Monday.
You just don't know, so.
So what's on the other side of your building? Because you've got a building on each side. What's on the other? side?
John Street,
No, there's, they're on Platt. There's,
they're on Platt, John is on the
but
other.
you're not on the corner of Platt.
No.
No, it's in the middle.
There's
The
a building.
barber shop, it's right next to the barber shop. And
It's
right
the
across-
residential building to the left,
Right across.
which is the one that.
North
looks
side
like
is
that
the
we
left.
discussed.
Residential building on the left, and then there's a residential building on the right as well, correct? Yes.
Perhaps, yeah,
I
but
think
they're nowhere near the outdoor area.
Yeah, I'm not asking about the outdoor, just you're sandwiched in between 2 residential buildings.
That's right.
So there is
Yeah.
potential for noise to come from your.
And so I guess one of my other questions is, please tell me you are not focused on doing alcohol to go, because it's a fantastic, nice little park across the street.
Yeah.
No, well, alcohol to go is a new program in New York that says it has to be sold with a substantial food item and doesn't say.
know that.
No, I know, I'm just speaking to it. It doesn't allow for people to drink openly in the park, so. It would,
It's not, why not, you know.
We don't like it.
New open.
Okay, so you are a large venue, so you have to.
we'll sign the large venue stipulation, yeah.
Recently, we've had some complaints come to us from another local hotel, from the neighbors, who signed a stip saying that they would do garbage pickup during the daytime between 7 and 2. their garbage pickup has now become 2 to 7, and the neighbors are rightfully not happy. So I'm gonna ask, when is garbage and how are you doing it? And do you have an internal garbage with the
Storage
hotel
area.
that can be stored?
In the cellar, we do have a room for trash,
Yay.
for a holding area.
But,
Like that.
okay, but what are the
Let's go
hours?
out.
When would pickup be?
We haven't contracted with that.
So I have a question.
Can you agree to have all pickups before midnight? So during hours, we just want to protect, I don't want the same situation that we had before where pickups are done after midnight and it's extremely egregious to the 2 residential buildings. So, you know, you're operating, you're inside, everything's great, but garbage pickup is very much something that will wake the neighbors if it's not during the day.
And that's midnight.
So here's my proposal, which we always ask, and if it's possible. If there's any other commercial venue close by that you might be able to partner with or use the same carting service, so that when they pick up there, they pick right, and you won't have like 5 different.
Yeah, we can,
There are 4 restaurants on.
right, we can talk to Harry's, which I know is right by there. Can't
There's a
stipulate that we're, but absolutely.
There's Stout that's next door to you,
Yeah.
there's Harry's over there, there's an Asian restaurant directly across from
Mhm.
you. So on that,
Karaoke.
yeah, so there's, there'll be 4 on that right surrounding the park there, which is why
I'm
we're.
gonna put it in the resolution that you will attempt to coordinate. I
Great,
think
Yeah.
We can see it happily.
Because
Right.
your garbage collection here says 7 AM to 6, which I'm really excited about, but I need to mention that out loud, that it says 7 AM to 6 here.
Easy.
Thanks.
That's great. All right. Anything else, anybody?
No,
Can you
after
clarify
we,
the hours?
Yeah, I did. I looked at them. And Sunday's my only one.
Right.
For me personally.
So it's midnight for outside, you said?
yes,
Yeah, 12 to 2 would be hotel guests only.
And that's Sundays only.
Yes.
And you're okay until 2 Monday to Thursday?
Courtyard is 7 AM to 10.
we don't have, do we have the courtyard hours down?
Yeah. it's at the bottom.
Is that the outdoor seating hour?
Yeah, although, as we discussed, we said outdoor seating, we said 11, but we agreed we would change that to 7, right, Susan? So,
7 AM to 10.
They say one coffee and a croissant.
Yeah.
Right. Sit outside. I think that's
So,
fine.
yeah.
7 AM to 10 PM.
So you're getting it on the other end, okay. After we vote, I have a question for you.
I like the post-vote questions a lot.
Like what?
Said I like the post-vote questions better than.
Exactly.
Who's
Just
making it?
curiosity.
And I have Joe, so can I call the question?
No, just I want to hear what she wants to ask first.
After we,
It's a post-vote.
it has nothing to do with the vote. Yeah, well, have nothing to do with it.
All right. Let's call the question.
Second,
All right, all in favor? Joe, I need your vote. It's
as long as.
Yes, in favor.
I do, it's fine.
Okay,
Okay,
so my question, we have all of these hotels coming to this area. What makes you think that we need
They
another
are.
hotel?
That's a question for the big boss that
I'm
we,
just curious, because they must have done some research and figured out that another hotel is.
Mac is
needed.
tapping his way through this. He's very happy.
the big boss, the hotel owner is just that, he's the hotel owner. And so he does serious, research into where he believes,
Wow,
the investments would be.
how many little boutique hotels we have, and big hotels we have.
And a lot of them went
Up, belly up.
Yeah.
belly up.
I'm just wondering why.
We're hoping they turn into affordable housing. But it's true.
But you might ask, just because we'd be curious
Yeah.
as a
It's
community.
considered a
board.
small hotel, this is the size. right?
Yes,
It's not considered.
a small hotel, yeah.
This is only 172.
Yes.
Oh,
You've been approved.
Six-story.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you all
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you. We'd rather
Thank
have
you for making the
be
consent.
successful.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Those are got the cookies.
I'm coming for coffee. Coming for coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming for drinks, forget the talks.
When are you looking at having the grand opening?
Some would say April,
Oh, so-
probably gonna be May.
May.
Oh, so-
We'll come by.
We've been working on this for a
Cinco
while.
de Mayo?
Go to Monday.
Hey,
Tequila.
tequila.
All right, everyone, enjoy the great weather.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, we're small, but we have
Serious stuff.
we have very serious stuff.
Okay,
No, marked up. What? No. No, just us cookies. This is really the whole aspect of year-round roadway cafes and dining out. And we've submitted testimony before, but we really have to resubmit and write a resolution. And Tammy testified on March 3rd about this with many of our concerns. One is, sidewalk width, they want to change it. They really, I'm stuttering. It really is a quality of life issue. And more than that, it is allowing the businesses to just take over. So,
Steal the sidewalk.
well,
Well,
basically,
it's sidewalk roadbed. I mean, keep in mind,
it's roadbed, it's
so
not.
we did resolutions in 2025. They did not bring the bills for a vote 25, so they reintroduced them in 26, so all bill numbers changed, which is a little bit frustrating. We testified because the opportunity for testimony came up before I had a chance to even see them in committee. So testimony was opened in the beginning of the month, and there we go. So we testified based on what we knew from 2025 in 2026. And there's a lot of issues. There is one tweak, right, Onej, that we found out that from the 25 rules to the 26 rules. So,
The last page. The
right,
very last page,
the very last.
is it where you highlighted it in yellow? Thank you, last page.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
and
goodness.
it's, Greater than 8 feet, is that what it's?
So here's the key, the current regulations, remember there are 5 different DOT determinations what a corridor is. There's the global corridor, which is something that like would be around World Trade Center, the Barclays Stadium, Penn Station, anything that's a major thing. And then there's a regional corridor, which is also for major attractions, talking about pedestrian volumes, right? And equating on the DOT site how all of this works, right? There's corridor maps, which we can certainly bring up and share. But right now, you must maintain 50% of the sidewalk width, whichever is greater as clear path. So if you're on a global corridor, which is normally 25 feet and larger for a sidewalk, you have to keep 12.5 feet of clear path. If you're on a regional corridor, which is anywhere between 20 and 25 feet of sidewalk, then you have to keep 10 feet. And every other street is. Okay, so how does that relate to?
Yeah.
How does that relate to our district? Think about around World Trade Center. You have very wide corridors around Vesey Street, for example, around World Financial Center, which is now Brookfield.
But does that include trees?
On the west
It
side, there's
includes-
more.
Tree pits, correct. There's far more on the west
On the
side,
west side, then on the east side, they become very scarce.
except for Water Street,
Well,
which is fairly wide, right? So we have a little bit of everything. Our concern has always been in CB1, unless you tell me differently. When we looked at our sidewalk widths, we have like nothing in the historic districts, historic Tribeca, historic Seaport, historic Clyde, all have very small, right? Or they have wider sidewalks with the
Openings.
openings to get down to the
Sub-base.
cellars and the
Oh,
sub-basements, right? So there's a lot of different things. So that's what the current regulations. The new tweak since 25 is that they want to pair all corridors down to 8 feet,
It's not new.
which puts you at a disadvantage if you think about the amount of traffic
that's the
and
two.
pedestrians around for the tourists that you get, or even around the Battery. rush hour,
Or
every
you walk with a cane, or you're in
Time
a.
that would work is on Sunday morning.
or you have stroller, or you're in a wheelchair.
You
or-
got shopping.
Right, I mean, for me, a tree pit should not be considered part of Clear Path.
Right.
Because I don't know anybody in a wheelchair who can pass through and face through a tree.
Carry packages or with my cane, it can't happen.
So there's a lot of, I think we've also learned some things. We were talking earlier today, Susan and Francis and Zach and Onej and I, about the storm. Right, we've had 3 snowstorms this season. So there's a place to say, if you have roadbed, you can't around the roadbed very well. You can, they will plow, but there's 3 feet in between every roadbed. That's the law. So here's a question for you. If you're a bicyclist, and let's just say you're riding down the street, and it snows, who's cleaning the bike path and the places where the bike path is up against the sidewalk and there's a floating roadbed?
What do you mean?
What do you mean by floating?
Yeah.
There's, you know how we have
You mean
sidewalk,
island?
bike path, and then the island, the island where the roadways dining is.
That's why isn't it all the city's issue to clean?
How is the city
Going.
going to get to the bike path?
I don't understand.
It's
need to have-
it's between two things.
Yes, but they need to have a snow thing, that's the.
Oh,
sidewalk.
green marker.
Really?
Oh, really?
Hey, they installed the bike paths, it's their problem to figure
Oh,
out.
wow, it's our problem.
Here, I mean, it's this.
You don't have to get those snow plows that are that size.
Right,
But it's
well,
not gonna happen.
that ain't happening right now.
Yeah.
So we just need to envision a world, like, and a conversation of what we say. Now, the testimony could have sat by itself and lived, but during public testimony, city council speaker and Lincoln Wrestler and DOT and other people who were in the room 100% confirmed that they will pass legislation, introduce and pass legislation, that they have the support to do it, to make roadbed permanent,
8 feet?
to make roadbed permanent for
Yes,
these bills.
well, Julie, yeah.
So this means that we need to, beyond where we've sat, we need to make, I think, one, comment officially by resolution on the change for the Clear Path, because that's really important. And then we should start to say things. I highly doubt they will say, okay, this will work in the boroughs and not Manhattan, because Manhattan is the one complaining, CDs 1, 2, 3, 8.
Does not want full-time road.
Do not want
They
full-time,
don't want that.
they don't want any of these bills. Because, but the thing is, you're not gonna be able, there's no way that I can foresee them saying, okay, in the Manhattan Business District, which is all of us less than 60th Street, these rules do not apply. Because any restaurateur is gonna say, why here?
Why
And not
congestion pricing only in a certain part of the city?
Has nothing to do with congestion, it has
No,
to
but
do
I'm
with
just saying,
equity as a restaurant.
They're doing things that are not equitable, they're putting certain rules for certain parts of the city, and so we
So
put our
how-
small streets.
How do we phrase it?
So I
That's,
think the top thing is we have to comment on the change in Clear Path that is different from the resolutions that they had last year and different from the current. And if we feel as a board that Clear Path should be,
What you recommend?
12 feet.
We should give a number.
we should say it should be, 724 was 8 feet or 50% of the width of the sidewalk, including any sidewalk, whichever is greater. I love that because it's better than the new one, I believe, which Onej, where is it?
Oh,
You always read different
I mean, you're saying
the
that
first one is 8 feet.
They're trying to do 8 feet.
so we have to say something more than that.
And the back is.
minimum,
Yeah,
minimum of.
On the first page.
Well, the first
Right, the
page is
first
the one that says proposed a clear path, 545 acres.
Yeah, that's 7. So I think that 50%, I think we need to also go on record. For me, I would say that treatment should not be included in Clear Path. They
Okay,
should be considered an obstruction.
so what do we want as our language?
Clear Path means an unobstructed path on a sidewalk winding for pedestrian circulation and does not include tree pits.
But it would.
And we want,
And tree pits would be considered an obstruction.
What about obstacle racks?
But they're the
wait,
sidewalk,
wait,
they're the road.
and what's the number?
That's,
No, not Bill, what's, um, 8 feet or,
It should be 50% of the sidewalks, but
It's the first thing.
I'm not
Here,
contentious, by the way. That sound bad.
very first thing.
Oh, I got taxi letter, you sure? I haven't gone through this stuff.
Oh, weeks and weeks.
Yes, it's like the third call I've had this.
so I think when we're, I mean, I have an issue with depleting clear path. I think 8 feet's ridiculous personally. Because you have to think of it, if you've got a double stroller, you're taking half the clear path.
But
Where
you
you
can
can
stroll with it.
Yeah.
I thought we used to make them do 10.
I think 10 would be reasonable.
But wait a minute, what happened to the 50%?
I think we need to say 50%, whichever is greater.
Yeah.
Which is what it is.
Yeah, I think that, Zach,
And it should be no less than 10 feet.
And can't we say
Yeah.
due to the nature of the age of this part of the city, our streets tend to be narrower?
well, here's a fun thing. Let's talk about sidewalks, right? We're gonna make the state that we want 10 feet clear path
Yes.
or 50%. whichever.
Yes.
Right.
Resolution.
That's what we want. Right, and then I think that we need to talk, so that takes 724, right? So then if we're looking at 628. That's the one,
Before you get there, could
second.
we list the things that shouldn't be considered, like the tree pits, the municipally installed bicycle racks?
I think, do bike racks count as obstructions?
They should.
I think they do.
Don't remember.
I don't remember.
Fire hydrants?
That is definitely,
The ones by Serafina.
Yes.
yeah, fire hydrants, you absolutely have to,
Have
which
to.
will bring me to a second point.
Which is the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Who approves the bicycle racks? Did we ever get, does the board have any
DOT,
say?
yeah.
It's only the DOT.
You can
And
provide.
DOT is on overload, and they don't do shit, and they don't have enough staff.
So there.
And they don't care.
So the pedestrian mobility plan, if you take a look at the baseline streets, right, they are 60% of the roads, and those have the most narrow sidewalks. Community connectors are 25% of the roads, residential streets that connect to nearby destinations such as schools, neighborhood corridors, regional and global. So regional and global are the two largest sections that they have for street sizes and sidewalk sizes. Again, it's where they talk about design guidelines and clear path.
Where are you? On which
I'm
one?
looking on their website
Oh,
as to what's, like the current, yeah. The walking lane right now in a global corridor is supposed to be 20 feet. Clear path is 15. It's on any street that's 25 feet or more. The regional corridor requires a 12-foot clear path. So they're looking to track it down. We can say we don't agree with any of those requirements and that we want it to continue, that everything should be that regional and global corridors should be 12 and 15 as it says on the current guidelines.
Yeah, 12 and 15.
That's what it says. So I'm trying to understand what's allowed in the clear path. I'm on the DOT website.
Oh, God.
Because they say the walking lane is a portion of the sidewalk that accommodates pedestrian movement, includes a clear path and appropriately spaced amenities that allow for pedestrian activity between them.
Them, what is them?
And clear path is unobstructed pedestrian flow.
I'm sorry, what are you looking for?
I'm looking directly to see what they're considering for their anatomy of a sidewalk.
So they're not taking into account the,
It should be no less than X.
They allow, yeah, they allow the tree pits in the walk lane.
That is crazy.
That's ridiculous.
so if you fall into one and break your leg, that's fine.
And ones who walk up the dogs.
Hmm.
In the tree pits.
Yeah, but it wasn't, but the dog, they should be gated off, shouldn't they?
Somebody was asking about the bank stations, it's a
Mhm.
5-foot clearance.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what did you say on this?
For the bike stations?
Yeah.
It's a 5-foot clearance.
Oh, when you say bike stations, are you talking
Like city
about
bike.
city bike? I was not talking about that.
She's talking about like the ones in Tribeca that are like where anybody
Those
can
Parks there,
the
right?
raised bike.
5 feet.
The one that's in front of Serafina.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5 feet. Any
Above
bike,
fire hydrant.
any bike where you can like tie your bike up and it's like a bike rack, it's fine.
And I think,
you mean, okay, I want to understand what that 5 feet is. You mean it can only be 5 feet?
you have to be 5 feet,
Anything
your
like
outdoor
this.
seating has to be 5 feet from.
Something like this can be, is 5 feet.
So they're actually allowing that in the clear path then?
Correct. Because if you figure that the bike rack is at 5 feet, you attach a bike, the front of the bike is closer than 5 feet.
So the clear path is related to roadbed.
No, it's sidewalk and where you walk around, so they think you're gonna walk around the bike rack.
Even though you've only got 5 feet to walk around.
People coming in the other direction, or younger people pushing past you, knocking you down.
Yeah, that's
One way traffic.
that is insane.
So we're saying bike racks and tree pits should not be permitted
And fire hydrants.
in, no fire hydrants,
Hydrants are
Exactly.
15,
yeah,
roadway should be 15 feet.
roadway, you can't be near that, they protect that. Alright, so anything else on the sidewalk? Let's keep on sidewalk only before we get to road bed.
Let me go back.
You know, like,
They count streetlights?
Yeah, cause you can walk around the street.
Is it, I noticed there's something here about if you open between November and March, that you are responsible for snow. That's a big issue.
Okay, John.
Where did I see it? Where did I see it? Oh, it's on page 2 of 5. It's been highlighted. It says, design and operation of Roadway Cafe that have been approved to operate during November 30th through March 31st shall include snow removal and sanitation.
Right, but it doesn't say for the bike lane.
It should be, well, we can include the bike lane, but, it's important that they be something attached to that, like a fine if they don't clean it, because people are
That's in
ignoring,
the rulemaking.
yeah,
That's not-
they don't, remove the snow. And, it's impossible to walk in front of these retail, particularly when they close and they just ignore the snow piles up.
So we did, let's kind of go through everything. on
I
there.
have one more thing.
Let,
What about those things that are, that you can plug in, you know,
Oh, the little tower. that you
the
can-
tower?
You can do internet connection.
Yeah,
the link NYC.
yeah.
That's,
Charging stations?
yeah,
Yeah.
those are supposed to be,
Like NYC kiosks, right, okay.
yeah, that's,
Yeah,
that's part of the furnishing zone.
Yeah.
And the furnishing zone is outside of the clear.
Outside of the clear path.
Mhm.
They're generally right at the curb.
Well, if they're outside of the clear path, why is the tree pit outside of the clear?
Because the tree pits are bigger, they allow them to go into clear.
Let's say about that one.
Well, but they allow them.
So I think
It's
we've got
11
all of it,
days
right?
continuous.
And this is saying 8 feet clearance.
No good.
We're saying we want,
That's a very, very optimistic drawing of a clear path. There's no path.
10
I've ever
feet
seen that.
or 50%, whichever is greatest, that's what we said on the other one. Should be 10 feet, forget it.
okay,
I think we have to say it.
10 feet.
Yeah. And I think again, we have to emphasize because of the nature of our streets.
Look at,
I mean, that's
look at
the
how narrow,
thing,
how narrow that is.
Well, right.
You can't even walk on the dirt there.
Right, because the sidewalk is irregular.
That's right. So you trip.
Right.
okay, so let's go to the second thing that Onesh has highlighted, which is 0655. This version, we testified.
655.
Yeah, 0655, we testified that we're not into, expanding roadway to the adjacent curb in front of the abutting property. We flat out said it because if it's a renter in the abutting property, they may never know. So if I own the building, right, and Pat's my tenant, and I work out a deal with you because you want to come all the way over to the front of Pat's door, we can get ownership approval and the renter may never know.
What?
Well, it
What's
says
this other hand that's behind the
It says
back deal?
leasing.
Owning, leasing, managing,
Managing,
or operating.
operating.
I mean,
And what is operating, you know?
yeah,
I mean, we could have a cafe or something that's between the two of us without the.
And if it's really small, you can spread out into the neighboring.
you can spread out further down into the storefront next door.
Especially because I'm reading that there's a different lease for the sidewalk as it is from the restaurant, so, all kinds of side.
What's all of us in favor of restaurants? What's the city coming in favor? Yeah, I know, but why?
Really good lobbyists.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're moving on to road bed. Road beds, there's a ton of changes, right?
Where are we looking?
Right, so November 30th, this is the bottom of page 2 where it says shall include snow removal and sanitation, right?
Tommy, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Uh,
Sure.
I just wanted to go back because I couldn't see the whole list on what's considered street furniture and objects and things like that. I know with the sidewalk cafes in the past, sometimes it wasn't clear or the definitions were not as specific, and there was a little ambiguity sometimes. Are they making it more specific here and clearer than say the DOT or the old DOT and what was the agency that did this
I'm
Borough
not
Cafe?
sure.
Consumer Stairs or whatever.
DC
What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
DCWP was the old one. And I actually think that there's a comment here, stop, oh, no, go back. Where it says if it's next to an arcade, as pursuant to zoning, that the arcade provides a minimum clear path of 6 feet. We can't rely on arcades, especially due to
I
the
see.
zoning text amendment. So
Right.
we need to request that that particular one on Water Street is exempt.
Correct.
Even if you see in this illustration here, now the tree, I don't consider that objects, but then you have the grading around the tree bed and things like that sometimes weren't considered, and then you might have a sidewalk cafe, the road bed, a tree, the gradings around the tree. There might be a grading on the sidewalk additionally. So all those things factor into it. What could be problematic that sometimes it's not considered in a big picture.
Yeah, we've said that. I mean, we have discussed that, and one of our comments will be that.
Yes.
All right.
We're gonna put that in. We're going to
okay.
put that in.
All right,
Yeah, in fact, I would even embroider whatever we say about tree pits by saying, that so many of them are fenced off, that you couldn't possibly walk in them, and they have signs indicating.
Yeah,
Don't
because
want-
they're bioswales.
Clean up there, that's what they can't walk in. I mean, kids can, but.
Okay,
What else?
let's go back to road bed. So
Yeah.
snow removal is gonna be an issue if they're 3 feet apart in road bed.
On another end.
Okay.
3 feet, that's what, and what?
Think about it. The rule is that they have to be 3 feet apart. You can't have them up next to each other.
You mean the sheds?
The sheds,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So they're 3 feet apart. Who's cleaning, like, it says snow removal and sanitation. There's no notation here. Who's cleaning in between the 3 feet? Like, if I'm a restaurateur, the two of us are next door to each other, here's our 3 foot gap. I'm gonna clean what I need in front of my restaurant to get to my road bed, which is right over there. Right? If my road bed is across the bike path, I'm going to clear in a path in front of the bike path to clear my space. But that means that the bike path becomes clean.
Where's the snow go?
Well, where does the snow go? Well, I put the snow in the 3 feet in between because I don't need that. So then the bike lane becomes clear in front of the restaurant, not clearing the 3 feet in between, because are you cleaning that 3 feet? I'm not cleaning that 3 feet. You're relying on people to without having to say it. So I think that you need to include, snow removal and sanitation within, and include the 3 feet on either side. And bike path.
Can we also include in that, if there's a bus station, that you include a pathway to the bus station? That
They're not allowed to set up by a bus station.
It's not gonna happen.
not gonna happen.
You're not allowed to set up by a bus station. You can have sidewalk if the sidewalk's wide enough. But you don't have to, you can't do road bed in front of the bus. But
Not
it's-
even on the same block? Like if the bus stop is at this end, and so long, one of those long blocks?
You're not allowed to be in the street in front of a bus stop. Onej has,
There are no paths to the bus. There's
Because then the bus has trouble.
see, you see where you can be and you see how far off the curb it is?
There's no bus stop.
Right. But you're not allowed to be by a
Yeah,
bus stop.
well, that removes that issue in terms of
Yeah.
regulations. It's up to the city or somebody to make a path for people to get to the
Right,
stop.
but,
But, so I want to understand, so on a street where you have a bus that stops every other block,
Mm.
what happens? Only the in-between blocks can have?
no,
Road bed.
you can have road bed right next to the bus stop,
Okay.
but you can't be in a bus stop.
Oh, no, we know that. No,
But
we
so-
were just thinking on the same block.
On the same block, so you're gonna have New York City clear the bus stop area. I don't know where the heck they're gonna push the snow if you've got the.
But they don't clear them, those buses are.
So it has to be
I'm a
at
bus
least
taker,
3
so I
feet
know.
from where the bus stop ends, right?
And if we're next door neighbors and we're two restaurants next to each other, there
Then it
has to
has
be 3 feet in between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so what happened to the issue, with the
Oh, wait,
garbage?
and 5 foot clearance, for example, if you see right there, 5 foot clearance to the city bike racks. Curb cut,
So that's different?
I don't understand if they are.
So it's 5 feet from the shed.
For a city bike
To city bike.
these are changing.
and 3,
No, I don't think they will change.
and, yeah, so then those garbage
But-
things. I
but
think
you're
those
gonna-
garbage things.
See, all I see is the trucks coming down the street and doing what they did this year, where all the city bikes got pushed the snow all over them. It's gonna be pushed upside the roadbed.
And the trucks take over.
Object, see, you have to be 5 feet from a bus stop.
Only can help us like this is a We don't have another pool system.
So it limits the possibilities.
So that means at the end of a bus stop, you're gonna have 5 foot for them to push the snow up. That's what that means,
But the problem is, you know, in New York, is we cross in the middle of the street, we cross wherever.
because it's legal.
And so when you cover up all those areas or don't clean those areas, you can't cross between sheds.
I couldn't,
Well, we couldn't cross this path because all of the,
Alright.
you know, only at the crosswalk.
corners, and
Alright,
if you want to lobby and clean them.
All right, so let's see notes to consider, right? We can ask for them to exempt Lower Manhattan.
Will they?
I doubt it, but we can ask.
I think we have.
I think that we should say that there should, due to sanitation needs, there should be no FDNY waivers granted,
Correct.
period. Right, because they're granting them when it's less than 15 feet.
No,
How are you gonna get the truck down if you can't get all the snow out? Right?
How are you gonna get the ambulance?
Right. And then I think we could say, there's a couple things that we could say. City zoning defines a narrow roadway, a narrow street. Just like general city zoning, like big picture zoning, as 75 feet.
Really?
Yeah, that is what's considered, anything less than 75 is a narrow roadway, according to the city planning zoning.
We live in a narrow.
Correct. So even clearer, I think that we could say there should be no year-round road bed dining on a road that's less than 38 feet wide.
absolutely.
Now, hear me out as to why. We have no idea how we can get really good bike lanes, and we have last mile delivery. We need for bike lanes between 5 and 10 feet. And they keep telling us for things like restaurants and small businesses, this is gonna be a more functional way to deliver. Gotcha. Okay, if bike lanes are 5 to 10 feet wide, plus markings and, barriers, think of that in your mind. You need 15-foot emergency clearance, that's the law and the rule. And road beds are 8 feet wide.
Adding all that together?
So if you have
Oh,
two,
like 38 feet or something.
that's where I landed. If I was 2 road beds at 8 feet each on either side, right, giving them the maximum width so they don't have to cut to 7.
You got
That's-
it.
That's 16 feet plus 15, right? That's 31. 31, then you gotta figure the average for a bike lane, it's either 5 feet or 10 feet, so if we use 7, which is in the middle, then we can
38.
say 38 feet. And we should say that year-round road bed dining would not be permitted on any road that is
Smaller.
38 feet
Or
or less.
Pardon my ignorance, here. Who reads what we're saying here? Who's-
We're sending it to Julie Manning,
Right.
Lincoln Wrestler, and Councilmember Marte, saying, here's our thoughts.
And DOT, aren't we?
And, no, because it's about the city council
It's
bill.
city
It's a city
council.
council bill, so.
It's her, it's Julie.
Yep.
And these two, that don't live,
And so, the floating road bed,
She's speaking of.
she's,
not her, but the other two, you know.
yeah,
Which two are you talking
the
about?
ones who,
Coastline is on the bill.
yeah. Go for it.
Mark, you have a question? Mark?
Mark. And what do we all agree that for any road bed dining, it's not just shall include snow removal and sanitation, that we should make sure it says something about, within 5 feet of their roadway bed?
Absolutely.
Cause that would get then the area cleaned out enough so they could put their sanitation out there, and it would clean it up to
Unless
maybe,
it's a blizzard, because nothing happens.
Well,
Well,
that's a
but-
special case,
but if it's their responsibility to clean,
yes.
then that allows the truck to come down, make the turn and go around. Right?
We say it, then.
I think that, there are other conversations we've had that I've heard from, especially in the village. There's a lot of small businesses that close, and things that were never restaurants are now restaurants. Like dry cleaners that used to be neighborhood amenities, hardware stores, things like that. So that we're we have no density rulings like we do with SLA. And that we're starting to see neighbors who are like, my quiet neighborhood, my quiet street is now turned into a full-time party zone and there's too much density. So we can comment on that because my concern is we have buckets and buckets of new residents coming, which is awesome. And trying to find balance is something that's important, right? So we,
Especially if we have these year-round,
Right.
sidewalks, that doesn't give us any respite at all.
so we could make a comment that says, the bill should include regulations on density for roadbed and outdoor dining,
Yeah, how many? do you have
especially
on one street?
on narrow streets as defined by city zoning.
They're gonna.
And
I don't know.
maybe it should also include some kind of noise dampening. Because I remember during pandemic, all of Greenwich Street, Greenwich Avenue, was one huge, one into the other, it was one outdoor thing after another. It was, and at 10 o'clock at night,
Like
deafening.
the Italian feast, with
Yeah.
just one vendor
It's
after,
engineering.
one
Yeah.
outside vendor after another.
Yeah,
It
but
does feel that way.
that's time limited.
Yeah.
And that's time limited. That's only a
So-
couple of weeks.
We'd say city zoning and any sidewalk smaller than a regional and global corridor, which is everything in CB1. We're not gonna care necessarily if it's around World Trade. We never have. But on anything that's more narrow, that would affect the residents.
Yeah. So this also affects 3 and 2.
So some of the other thoughts that people have been
Garbage. Aren't they supposed to make it, their,
containerized.
right?
Yeah.
They're only supposed to use enough space for the dining, and then they're supposed to have space for the,
3 foot for containers, yep,
within their little space there. A
so,
lot of them were using it, were using that 3 feet, that's why,
Mhm.
and there probably will.
so we need to make a comment that zoning, new regulations for size,
And placement.
and placement, that sanitation must be included within the lot lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay,
you're
you
not
got that
getting
one?
within the 3 feet. Because technically, 1.5 foot is there, was 1.5 foot is standard.
Okay.
Well, it's between the two of you, yeah. You're supposed to share it.
So they have something here which I don't understand, and I want to just ask the question.
I have 2 things, I have 4, on page 4 and 5, I don't get.
Yeah, well, I don't get
I don't want
page
any.
5.
Well, go back to 4 and 5, because I'm not understanding exactly myself what that means.
At the bottom.
You need
no-
no road promulgated by the.
A license granted to a roadway cafe shall restrict a cafe from operating at a distance that is greater than 8 feet between the perimeter of the roadway and a crosswalk, or between the perimeter of the roadway and the curb line.
I don't understand it.
Between the perimeter and your.
See, I think that should be struck in its entirely. I think this is, if you need to set up your roadway 10 to 12 feet away from the crosswalk?
Crosswalk, where's the crosswalk at all?
Or between
Oh,
the perimeter of a
And the
road.
curb line, the intersection, this is the one we already objected to.
Yeah,
Because currently there's a 20-foot rule, they're looking to cut that to 8.
no,
So this is the one that has to do with, daylighting.
It would make
This
it
is the daylighting.
impossible to
So you
say
can
this.
say,
It, well,
can't see anyway.
well, we had said that we didn't think daylighting is currently restricted to what? I think it's 20 feet.
I think that is.
From the edge of the,
Right,
you have to be 20 feet.
yeah.
So there are a lot of cafes that are, both sides have, roadway.
Nish, can you see for roadbed how far you have to be right now from the intersection? Because we testified that we didn't agree with the 8 foot already.
So if you have 20 feet on this side and 20 feet on this side, and you have 3 feet between, you're gonna end up with very tiny, I don't care.
Are they allowed to put tables on that corner?
That's what they're trying to do is from the crosswalk, see, if you take a look at where Own Edge is, you see to the right, the 20 feet,
On 20 feet, okay.
right? You see where they're talking about daylighting from the corner has to be 20 feet.
Well, it's actually daylight.
Distance, from
Do they
the,
wanna cut that back to 8?
they wanna cut that back to
No,
8.
no, it's.
That's what I'm saying, it's a lot, that's a lot. You have the crosswalk, zebra lines, then you
You're
have.
looking at that particular corner, could you imagine? Every corner is not like that. So,
Yeah, so
No,
we have
the 20 feet is from the intersection,
No,
right?
it's from the zebra lines.
No, take a look on the left, see the explanation says, currently it's 20 feet on the approaching side of an intersection, right?
What's that?
And 8 feet on the non.
Going towards the intersection.
Yeah,
Because it's turning the corner.
If there's no crosswalk, a roadway cafe must maintain 20 feet from the curb line of the intersecting streets. So that's what on the right, you're talking about there. And what they're looking to do is to cut everything down to 8.
they wanna make.
well, they wanna make it like this, but
Yeah.
it's still from the zebras. It's still not from the.
I don't see how they could do that.
You see what I'm saying?
Not infringe on the zebras.
Why?
Well, I don't.
Why do they need more space?
Don't ask that question.
No, there's, the outdoor cafe won't be able to have enough seats. If
The
the 20
roadway,
feet,
they get a certain amount of feet, period.
no, the 20 feet so suppose you have a cafe on the corner, I'm not blocking in favor of it. I'm just saying, suppose you have a cafe on the corner, you theoretically have seating on both sides.
Right.
So if you're 20 feet away from the zebra and you have to maintain 3 feet from the person next to you,
Yeah.
that only gives you whatever, your frontage is minus.
It's very small.
What you
That's
got
the area that you have to deal with.
That's
the
what,
problem.
that's what you chose to rent. I,
Exactly.
look, I think a greater good for pedestrian safety
It's much better.
is much better.
That's where our road.
Absolutely.
That's
you gotta-
where
I'm
that's
telling you,
our
you're gonna get
responsibility
pushback on it.
to
So
our.
we deny the 8 foot.
They're
What
saying,
we're not seeing is the other side of the street where there's probably 2 bike paths.
Well, we want to.
right. So we're saying no reductions clearances
Correct.
Exactly not.
at intersections. And that needs to be really clear.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a vote to make
And we want
that
to,
then.
so that's striking out K altogether.
Understand the logic of what they want to do. They daylight in order to protect people in the crosswalk.
Because I'm telling
And
you.
we said
you're
that
taking
in the
away
testimony,
seats from
very
the road
specifically.
cafe.
And then you put something bigger than a vehicle there?
Yep.
It's
Who
all
are they
part-time
talking
and
to? I'm talking to us.
Wait,
which is-
I just want, we're just gonna go back to the same conversation that we've had before in this board, right? We are the most expensive place to park a car in New York City, period. It is $5.50 for the first hour, I believe it's $10 for the second hour, $9, then $7
$5.50, that's all.
for the first hour.
Yeah, but just there from.
My garage says $12 and.
Yeah, I haven't heard
I'm talking-
anything that was a single digit.
Street parking, I'm talking street
Oh,
parking.
street parking.
Yeah.
So here we are, I can get to the street parking because I just went through that today.
Oh, no, that's what yeah, street parking.
It's insane. Okay, so the parking meters in New York City, we are in the highest density district. Okay, so the first hour is $5.50, second hour is $9, unless you're a commercial vehicle. And a commercial vehicle is $5.50 for the first, $7 for the second, $10 for the third, and $13 for the third hour. So I need everybody to understand the same conversations that we've had when it came to Amazon taking up commercial spaces. Right, what is the value of a space on our streets? And what does the city charge for this value? For the pilot that we already, talked about for DOT, they're only charging $2,000.
But it's off the street also, it's in a lot.
Oh, no, it's
No,
not.
it's not. It's the street. No, it's on the street.
I thought on that street it was a lot.
No.
So here is the same conversation that we're having, right? We're talking about negotiating about them using public space. The city is in a financial crisis, restaurants are in a financial crisis. So the choice to give restaurants space at practically for free. Cause they're not paying $2,000 a year either, I don't believe. Manoj, do you remember how much they pay?
No.
Alright, if you can
Why
find
are
that.
restaurants in a financial crisis?
I think if you are going to,
Because we don't have enough money to
We'll
eat
look at
out.
all the
that's
ones that are closed.
right, so I think it's, there's questions to be raised here about what is the value of our public space, right? If we don't need it for parked cars, why aren't we doing bioswales? Why aren't we doing, greening of the city? Why aren't we doing things that actually why is everything going to be a giveaway to the restaurant industry? Which we've talked about on the board, right? And I think that that's, something that's not even addressed in here.
I think there has to be some statement in there.
In terms of the public
Public,
good, because in
And
that
that-
matter, there's always the
that-
question of public good.
There has to be a statement, I think, somewhere that this is not commercial, that this whole neighborhood has become residential.
and I don't understand why, if, you're enticed to move someplace, and then you can't park your car. The
Not
city is.
everybody has a car, but
No,
it's,
I know.
it's not about that, but it's about where's the moving truck gonna go?
Yeah, that's true.
Right, you gotta get people in and out, and our
I just
commercial
agree.
buildings don't all have loading docks.
Right.
Most of them were office buildings with no loading
And
docks.
this distribution of food, they don't have loading docks.
Right,
So, yes,
And the ambulance when it needs to get to your house.
oh, well,
Take it.
I'll be dead.
So-
Anyway, I want to go to this last
So-
one.
there's one thing before your last one, which I 100% agree. There is something that we learned when we met, with DOT and council member, and Francis and I were really surprised to hear this. There is only a restriction that you cannot block a primary entrance to a building. However, if you happen to live in a Tribeca building, that's like a 5-story walk-up, and you've got, the store entrance here and then the entrance for the, it's not necessarily considered a primary entrance or exit. On the 5-story walk-up, the main entrance was not considered a primary entrance.
That's my point.
Primary is considered for larger buildings. That is a legal definition for,
If you only have one entrance, what is it?
that's what we asked. And they said, well, according to the zoning, it's not considered a primary entrance.
So what, you call up the building? if
Then
there's-
what is it called?
Right. what's it-
It's just an entrance.
And what,
It-
It's the only
And what
entrance
should you
there.
do? Take your rope and
Right.
climb your apartment?
It's the only
No,
entrance.
this is
does it make if you are a primary residence,
Right, so
as opposed to
I think that that's something that needs to be reflected in here, is that
Correct.
you should not be able to go past beyond the lot lines of what
Blocking
you have,
entrance that
of
exists
blocking an
to that
entrance to.
Any primary.
Any
entrance.
Exit.
Or fire exit to
Or
a
fire exit.
Egress.
Yeah.
To and from a building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The fire department does my street all the time with their cars.
At least they can rest in with them.
They rest-
They block.
they
Oh, you mean their private cars?
They're private.
That, don't even tell
I
me,
know.
because from the beginning of time, that has pissed me off,
so,
that they can come in here and park.
so again, so we're gonna say that for roadbed, we believe that they should not be allowed to block any entrance or fire exit to any building.
Yes.
That's
And
right.
it doesn't make a difference if it's a little bit smaller, then we just need the emergency services to get to the.
Yeah.
I called the ambulance for my husband and they weren't able to get. Mostly fire, yeah. The cars parked all, get the ambulance.
If we're getting rid of the cars, let's make sure that the people who are living in the buildings have a safe way
to get out.
to get in and out. I mean,
Is
that's,
the amount of space that everybody gets, is it prorated based on what's up?
but I mean, if you live in a residential building and you have ground floor retail, they should not be allowed to put the roadbed in front of the entrance of the building. You want accessibility drop off and pickup, if there's anybody who needs that, you want emergency services to be able
For
to get to the
commercial
curb.
or your
Commercial,
residential,
yeah, yeah.
both.
And I
I
think
have,
that's,
I have a clothing store next to me, let's say, and they should have.
We need visibility,
And somebody drops dead in my store.
but they also need visibility, so if you
Yeah.
have this big, food thing in front of them, nobody can see the store.
Exactly. All righty.
Last one.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
and with all of that, we didn't take into consideration the other possible obstructions in the seat manholes
We did.
and.
We're gonna add all that.
Yeah. All right, just explain this to me, everybody. The community board shall not require
Yeah, that's not good.
the petitioner to supply the board with additional written materials other than the petition
Yeah.
and the agreed upon modification.
They don't want them to come up any other.
So you could tell me that that's a pan quotidian would have screwed us.
They all would have.
Well, they always
I
would.
think that entire thing needs to go away.
I think it's disgraceful.
We should get any
Yep.
information that we need to make a.
Because it says the petitioner shall amend the petition, both the community board and petitioner agree to modification in writing. Such modification shall be reflected in a written recommendation of the community board department to the department and the council. Perfect. Now, here's the problem with supplying additional written materials. There's a way that the petitioner can then say, I don't need to do my SLA with that. And what we want is actually to make
Same
it better
time.
for business, to do one-stop shop if they can bring us everything at one time.
Mhm.
And this actually stands in the way of progress
Correct.
and does not have them prove things like bathrooms and other things that DOT does not already.
And space, like Betty always says.
But no,
Handicapped accessibility.
Yeah.
they can say that we discussed such and such a thing, but if we don't have the written material proving that that was part of our conversation, we do have the YouTube. But,
That's not.
They don't
good enough.
care.
yeah, I think
They
we
don't
should have
They don't care.
written verification.
I'm not sure what other boards do. I can't imagine what happens out in Saskatchewan
I'm sure they
anywhere.
don't do what we do.
But I think we try and make it easier for the operator. We try and ask all the questions. We would like to be able to have them come in once and not have to come back 10 times. That was the whole goal of being
We want to
better
afford, well informed before we make
That's
our
right.
decisions also.
That's right.
I mean, I've got to say that it's too bad we have to get into the weeds of this, and I know we do, because I basically do not support year-round.
Oh,
None of us, none of us do.
none of us, totally.
Fine.
And they already started.
thought we had spoken
Talking around the apartment.
Somebody Evans, our former chair. Hello,
And they.
Miss Eastside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in terms of the structure of the roadbed, there were all these requirements and this and that. They're building new houses on the street,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it wouldn't be, and that's why they're complaining and they want it year round, because they want to spend $5,000 to build that, and they don't want to have to take it down.
Well, some people are saying that instead of roadbed year-round, the city should provide for restaurants that are in distress, who can prove distress,
Money.
that they should provide storage over the winter.
That's it.
For the construction.
They should take one of
Well,
those.
that's like, you should pardon me, that's like pissing in the wind.
But
I'm sorry. Come on, guys. Really, what an absurdity. Where are they gonna put them?
In one of those
So-
closed.
I don't want to be heartless, but I mean, it's a business, it's commercial. I had to close my business when it wasn't doing well.
The other thing that we need to do on here, is looking back at what this committee has struggled with for timing and for Onej. This is the only application that has to be done in 40 days, no later than 40 days. We have to do our written, there's no extensions. So sometimes the operator is working with DOT, like we had recently where they weren't ready to come, but they had to come because they had an approved one that they had to change. It went back and forth. I think that we should ask, for a one-time extension, if we're changing the law anyway, that there is a one-time
Applicant.
postponement for the applicant.
Absolutely.
So
A
everybody's
one-time extension,
is
right?
agreed
Onesh?
to have one.
Cause cannabis does that.
Correct.
Yeah, because otherwise
One time period.
it's actually gonna force us to turn people down outright when they show up with defective stuff. Yeah,
Well, they
Which is what almost happened this last
Right.
time, because we tried to get it extended by DOT and explain the circumstances, and they had to redo the site plan anyway, which means going back to DOT, so that should have extended.
But
But they have changed how their
Mhm.
process right now, and they flat out said no.
So we should put in here, we want to strike that because it's actually deleterious to the clients, the part you highlighted. And we need to put in there that petitioner shall have the ability for one postponement. And DOT and the petitioner will be allowed one postponement if they're not prepared within the 40 days. And I mean, how long is the postponement?
1 month, I mean, that's a community board schedule.
Yeah, 1 30-day cycle, a delay of 1 30-day cycle, yeah. And I think that actually would help everybody in what we do, and it actually might enable them to also get their 30-day notices out for SLA, so we can make it a one-stop shop.
Yep,
Yeah, well, then the argument becomes, you don't really want two separate processes working across.
They currently, we can't help it, but
Every which way we can help it.
if we can get, usually they don't come to us for roadbed and sidewalk until they're open. They'll still need to do the 30-day modification, whatever with SLA. If we can get a postponement in with this, then the operator can then apply to SLA
right.
and then come to us with
And
both.
we, as Alice would say, we could see the whole gestalt. We
That's
could
right.
see it all, and we don't have to piecemeal and worry about it, anticipate.
Do we
Which-
have any say
idea, but it's.
in anything with the sidewalk cafes other than just approving it? Just that they meet the requirements and that's it? We have no say in there's too many
Well,
of them or?
Amesh makes the point, and it's true. They try to get X, they try to get open very quickly. And so then they don't consider the rest of the stuff. And they're slow, the process is slow.
We need to put in here a requirement
Yeah,
that they have to
it's-
follow all DOB and health code rules
Permits and stuff.
and permits in regards to seats per bathroom if this is permanent dining, period.
Oh, for sure.
And that has to be in there as well. I mean, I think that's,
And this thing was,
Yes,
was
because-
passed with no sunset on it, like just a trial run, this is just it?
this is,
None of it.
this,
All this outside seating now with these bills, all the outside seating is considered the same as the ground floor seating of the restaurant.
yep, as indoor seating.
But this is the pasture.
They're gonna regret it. The
Is it
restaurant people,
You
I
think
think they're gonna make money because they're gonna end up not gonna be sitting on that.
Right. It's passed, but it hasn't taken effect.
No, it has not
It
passed.
has not passed.
So they introduced the bill before we could discuss it. And
Right.
Usually it goes to committee, it goes this, it goes that, it got fast tracked. So the public hearing came super, super fast.
Yeah.
So we testified based on what we knew, and now this is an adjustment from what we knew from 25 to what it is in 26 to try and get
But what is
modifications
it?
in.
The
I
council?
can't believe the other
Voting.
community boards are not up in office.
No, but it doesn't affect them, it's only 1, 2, and 3.
Have no
1,
say.
2, 3, and 8.
And 8.
And 8 are all not in favor in Manhattan of permanent. But there are places like, think about it, if you live someplace out in Brooklyn and there's just one like commercial zone in your neighborhood, you don't care. It's lovely. It makes it a little bit more European. It makes it a little bit more friendly.
That's fine.
And it's spaced out differently. It's not the historic streets that we have.
Yeah, every time I walk out my
You
door, I
have-
gotta
With
step over
the meeting
people.
boards that are so concerned, 1, 2, and 3. You go
And
up-
8.
And 8.
And 8, because it's almost every building up there is residential with retail on the bottom. About the Upper East Side, the young people go to live. And they're still concerned. They don't favor full time.
So, you know, on the west side doesn't, on the side streets doesn't have that. stuff. The
Yeah.
Upper west side doesn't have. But the
Wait till
village,
they do.
There are some streets on the Upper West Side that are starting to come forward and complain. I've seen that were primarily residential with small businesses on the bottom that have turned into bars and restaurants.
a lot of that.
Because, you know, where we have an art gallery today could be a bar tomorrow, and there's no density restriction, so that's what it is.
I don't live.
No, me either. I live down here, and I'm concerned that our mixed-use growing residential community has a great place that they could sleep at night.
And with all these new buildings or the conversions.
Well, I have no restaurants, and I would love to have some nice
Yeah,
restaurants,
I
but
would-
I don't wanna have noise.
I was gonna say that what we saw on Monday was the conversion of two, well, one new building and.
Here, let's end the meeting, and then we'll talk about it.
Yes.
And
Okay, we're closing.
people who come to
Tell
those
me when I'm recording.
buildings.
Good night.